Hi guys, Candace here, and today I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of my first week of my December daily for 2015. So I'm using the binder from last year from Ali Edwards, and it just has the printing of December daily right there on the spine. And then for the cover I just took a gold chipboard piece that comes in the kit. They just look like this, and I just took a P for our last name Perkins, and then from the little chipboard right here I added "'Tis the Season," and then these also come in the kit, these little chipboard pieces here, and I just took the 20 and the 15 and I used some red embossing powder and I went ahead and embossed that, and then I adhered that all to the front with some red line tape. So the first page is the reason why, and a lot of people who are doing the December daily and following Ali Edwards are using this reason why, and I think this year she did an My Intentions one, but I liked the wording of the reason why better. And I just talked a little bit about the magic of Christmas and how growing up it was just such a magical time, and I just want that for my kids too, and also for myself. I think as an adult, when you get older, sometimes you lose a little bit of that magic and that wonder, and I wanted to bring a little bit of that back to myself too, and so so I wrote a little bit about that right there. Then the next page is first this 6x8 picture of the North Pole, and I took a star brad and I punched that through the page protector, and so the brad is actually on top of the page protector, and but through the paper. So I added that. I just a tiny little thing to the front of that paper. I thought it was cute to add that there. So next is this, sorry about the glare, I'll fix that a little bit, is this transparency, and I just bought some transparencies at the local office supply store, and those same gold chipboard pieces, and I just sewed that right along that transparency piece. So that slid right in there, and that goes right there, so you'll just flip that. And then at first I didn't think I was going to include this picture. This is a piece of chipboard that I had for my stash. And this was actually a few days before December. In November, we took the boys, and we live in Arizona, and we drove up and we cut down our Christmas tree. And I kind of struggled because I felt like I wanted to wait till December to do that just so I could include it in my December daily, which is kind of a silly reason to plan stuff. But then I had seen Ali, she had included some things that were a few days before December, and I thought, yeah, why not? So so I just took a little chipboard piece, cut it down, and adhered that, and I added a little tag, and I stamped "Love this tradition, cutting down a Christmas tree" right there. And then on the back I just adhered some pattern paper and this little jingle word. This is from the Heidi Swap words this year. It comes in a package like this, and it has a whole bunch of scripty words and little icons, and so added that right there, and then again from the chipboard added the Merry and Bright, so that's right there. Next is this little transparency piece, and I just stapled to the edge of it a little tab that says magic, And then here is day one. So for day one, I used the 3x4 digitals that you can get in Allie's shop. And I just got the 3x4 ones, and I just decided that I would just use those here and there throughout the album when I needed to add some journaling. And whenever I wanted to use one of those, I decided I would type my journaling there. So for the rest of the page, right here, this card is from the Magic Story Kit from Allie Edwards. That's her monthly story kits that you can get, and she has one whole story kit about magic, and so that actually came in handy for a lot of my pages so far. So that's a little 3x4 card there. And then this is a picture of our little elf on a little zip line that I made the first night that he came back. Now for this little transparency, or for this little chipboard piece here, I'll show you what I did because it's a little different. Now, I know in a lot of these pockets, they just stick the items in and then they kind of move around. And I'm trying to embrace that, but I kind of don't like when it's not centered. And so what I did is I took the transparency piece and the chipboard, I actually pulled off the backing. I don't know if you can see that. So it's like I sliced it in half. And so I placed one portion of it on the front of the transparency piece and the other one on the back. This is for day two. So then when I put it in, it would stay centered in the center of the pocket and not move around. Now this little heart piece came in the December daily kit from last year, but the little I Believe in Magic is from that Magic story kit, and it's a whole bunch of cut aparts, word strips, and I love word strips. They always come in handy. So I added that to the tree, some pattern paper from the kit, and then that was all ready to go. So that is my completed day one right there. So now you turn the page and on to day two. So for day two, that day we made some spicy pecans for my children's teachers for them to take to school. So I just have an up-close picture of those pecans, and I used some banners and digital things in my phone to add that to the photo before I printed it out. And then here's the other side of that transparency. I added a little red star. Those come in the December daily kit, and then the silver brad is from the actually I think that's from a different story kit, but it's from an Allie Edwards story kit. And then I painted the white too. Added some pattern paper here and another one of the printables. And then this stamp is an old Technique Tuesday stamp. And I just used this stamp right here. Stamped it in red and then added some pattern paper and this little glittery snowflake that is also from the Heidi Swap thing that I showed a minute ago. So on to day three. This is a little transparency that I made. So for this one, I just took, again, a transparency, and then I added this little bokeh heart that comes in the kit and the glittery word believe, and then add some stitching right to the bottom of that. And then on the edge, I have this little tab that I made, and I added a word strip from that Magic word strips and just slid that right in there. So that goes right there, and then you flip that over, and then here is day three. So I got these bags. These are it comes in a pack from Teresa Collins that I got at Joann's. So it comes in a pack with some tags and some large bags. So I got that, and I adhered one of these Studio Calico big number tags to the front, and this masking tape comes in the kit. So I just added a strip of that at the bottom, and then these right here are from the Heidi Swap tags that I picked up at Joann's that are there this year. So I added that along with a star brad again. And so in here I slid, my son does a Christmas concert. His school does a Christmas concert every year, so I did the program from that Christmas concert, and I just slid that right in there. And I added this little tab to the top, this little cutout that wasn't there. So I just took a picture of my little guy in front of his tree, and then used some gold embossing to emboss this Voices Singing, and this is also a Technique Tuesday stamp. It's this one right here. When's this from? This is from 2013, so there's that one. So I used that and just embossed Voices Singing right there, and then added that little chipboard piece. And then on the back, I did the journaling and added this little, this is also an acetate piece that comes in the kit, and I just placed that behind the vellum and then printed my journaling on the vellum and attached that there. So that little piece is for day 3. And so this is just some pattern paper that I had in my stash, acetate piece from the Allie Edwards kit, and again, the scripty words from Heidi Swap. Every year we take our boys to get their pictures taken with Santa at the mall. So we took them again, and so we have a picture of all 4 of the boys with Santa and this little chipboard piece that says, "Remember this," and a little heart. And then what I decided to do is any card that was not these little 3x4 cards, I would challenge myself to do my own handwriting. I generally like to use my typewriter or my computer. My handwriting doesn't particularly bother me. I don't think it's particularly bad, but I just like the clean look of the type, and I like consistency throughout the album. But I figured that's just not, I wanted to go with the spirit of the album, and I really wanted to, I think that there is something personal about using your own handwriting, especially if I'm writing to my kids. So I wanted to make sure that I had that included. So I used my own handwriting here, and I just talked about how it's a tradition that we do every year. This pattern paper comes in the Allie Edwards kit, and then here's a picture of my little guys as they're writing their little letters to Santa, and I like that I took the picture from behind them, so I could just see them writing their little letters. It was so cute. So on to day 5. Now, like I said, we live in Arizona, so it generally does not snow here. And if it does, it would melt right away, but it's still pretty warm here. It's in the 70s, so probably almost like summer for everybody else. So so they have this thing called the Jingle hike where we live, and at the bottom of these mountains in Arizona, you'll meet a little elf, and the elf will sign you in, and then you'll hike to the top of the mountain, and Santa will be up there, and you can take pictures with him. And so so on day 5, that's what we did. And so I took this little card that ended up being perfect from the Allie Edwards kit, and again I used that tag from Studio Calico, added a Pink Fresh Studio puffy sticker that just says December right there. And then what I did on this one is I used a combination of these little word stickers, and these word stickers are from Pretty Little Studio. So it looks like this, and it's a whole bunch of word strips, stickers. So I just pulled out some that I liked and then made sure that they fit into my journaling. And then with some little letter stickers, I added the word jingle hike and stitched through that and added a little Brad and a star right there. And that was my day 5. And then for the photo, I took another piece of that chipboard and I adhered the photo back to back, and I added this little stamp piece is from the Ellie Edwards kit. And it's just a whole bunch of these little vintage stamps. And I added that in. It says Saturday, and then a puffy heart sticker from the Pink Fresh Studios. So I added that, and then to the other side I did a black and white photo of all the boys when they made it to the top of the mountain where Santa was. So I really like these little, the chipboard pieces in there and the different sizes of things that make this album really interactive, because in general my Project Life albums are pretty not as much embellishment or detail, just because you're doing it all year long, and if you did all these little bits and pieces it would make it really thick, and if your kids go through it like mine do, everything usually falls apart. So so I like to keep my Project Life pretty simple. Anyways, so day 6, I did some silver embossing on this little chipboard piece. That is from a Week in the Life kit from Ellie Edwards. Transparency piece that comes in the December Daily kit. Another one of these digitals, and on this one I just added a little pattern paper, a little sticker that says joy, and some glitter washi or glitter tape. I don't particularly mind about combining gold and silver all in one album, as you can see, obviously, because I did it back and forth interchangeably. So, and on day 6 we were LDS or Mormon, and so we had a special Christmas devotional at through our church, and so that's a big deal that we kind of do every year, and so I wanted to include that in the album. So on to day 7, so the first week, the very last thing, it's the other side of that transparency pieces, and I took a close-up picture of a Christmas tree that I saw when we were out, and I just loved it, and so I took a close-up picture of it because it was so beautiful. And then I just talked about how I love seeing everybody's Christmas trees and how different everybody's are and unique, and some are coordinated and some are Charlie Brown Christmas trees, but I just love them all. And then I just did a kind of like a divider piece here to go into the next week. So that's all for now. So that is my first week of December daily. Hope this inspired you a little bit, gave you some ideas. I would love to see what you're doing for your December dailies too. If you have any questions, just leave a comment below. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in a week. Thanks, bye.